If you want, it's Emily Fox. Today's video is going to be a reading vlog where I attempt to continue and finish some series. It's one of my big challenges this year. And lucky for me, the last vlog went so badly, a different challenge, that it means I have more time. So it means I will be able to hopefully finish the 2 books that I'm hoping to read this week. 2 weeks ago, I did the same thing. And I read book 2 of these 2 series and gave 5 stars to both of them. And I will be continuing both of those series. The first one is book 3 in the Neapolitan quartet. So Those Who Leave and Those Who Stay. This is historical fiction, literary fiction, set in Italy. You're following these 2 women and basically their whole life, their whole friendship. It's one of the characters writing down their story because one of them disappeared and she's hoping that that will bring her back. And I am going through a lot of trauma with this series and I'm enjoying it. And the second book will be Jade Legacy. I have ordered it. It's on its way. I should receive it any day now. And once I'm done with this one, I will read this one. I'm actually really excited that the other vlog went so badly because I'm hoping I can read both of them. They're both pretty big. This one is 400 pages. This one I think is like 500-600. So I have like about 10 days instead of like 7. So I should technically probably be able to finish both before the end of the month. So yes, I'm gonna start with this one, hope for the best. I also want to clean and organize my shelves because obviously the cats have been doing their own redecorating. A lot of you liked Clawdia's skills here. That's mostly her always. I actually have the other one sleeping on a dress I left on the floor, so I don't know where she is, which is never a good thing actually, but I'm going to do that. I also have like a bunch of books on the desk over here. That's why I'm not even filming in front of it. Can I show you? Does it work? Oh yeah. So yeah, I have to put those either on my shelf or in the cabinet. If we don't remember, oh, you can tell how bad it is. If you don't remember, I'm putting all the books that I'm buying this year in the cabinet over there and not on my shelf because of different challenges that I'm doing. And I think in November, I'm going to try to only read books from the cabinet before they end up in the bag for my read it or on haul it if I decide to continue next year. So yeah, that's the plan this week. A bit of cleanup, a lot of reading, and hopefully it will stop raining and being a million degrees because I'm tired. I feel like I keep filming in the dark, but like it's so dark outside. Like yesterday, I literally woke up in the middle of the night because the thunderstorm was so loud that it freaked me out. It woke me up. So yeah, let's start with a bit of trauma before I go into more trauma actually, because the ending, the last 50 pages, couldn't go to sleep. I needed to read it. So good morning. Little update. These babies have their 3rd appointment at the vet for their 3rd vaccine at the end of the week. I finally am going to know how much they weigh now that they're 4.5 months old, because Charlie, he's a full-size cat. He's a full-size cat. For sure, he was like 5.7 pounds last time. He's gonna be almost 7 pounds easy, if not past that. Wanted to update you, I'm about halfway through, and I feel like this is gonna be also painful. I feel like my interest with this series, during the book, it goes up and down a little bit, but I think it's because it keeps revealing painful truths about people. And she mentioned that, was it in the 2nd book? And it's true, it hurts. Like things that you don't want to read about, but it's because people don't want to talk about it, but you know, life. Oh, actually, it's the first post-it. Ooh, I can already tell it's going to be a long week. But that's what she said. She said, finally, I spoke of the necessity of recounting frankly every human experience, including, I said emphatically, what seems unsayable and what we do not speak of even to ourselves. It's in the 3rd book, okay? So yes, and she is doing that. And I don't know if it's the fact that she's anonymous that she has even more of that freedom of like writing about these experiences, because the main character is being judged for some of the things that well, everyone in there is being judged for things that they have done or said. And I wonder if there's a connection with the author with that. Anyway, I feel like the books are becoming more and more complex as, you know, you're going through the series. And it talks about workers' rights. Again, didn't expect that. And they're talking about how the intellectuals, the people that are not stuck working in
I'm going to say the warehouse. You know what I mean. People that don't have to work manually in those horrible places, they don't realize how dumb they sound like distributing pamphlets to people that might not even be able to read and like explaining to them what it is, the horrible conditions when they're living them every day. They had no reason to subject themselves to the effort of reading since they already knew those things. They lived them every day and could tell even worse. So yeah, a lot more violence in this one than the rest of the series. It makes sense. The characters are growing, right? Book 1, they were under 17. The second book, they were like 17 to like mid-20s, and now they're becoming, you know, grown adults. I believe at the end they're like in their 60s, so it makes sense that things are accelerating. And a lot more about relationships, and yeah, I can already tell, again, it's going to become more and more painful. I mean, we have to get to what we know from the beginning, right? That her friend basically disappears and they've had rough lives, and I feel like their paths are like diverging more and more because one of them got to get an education and the other didn't. I thought this series was more popular. I looked on Goodreads and I thought there would be more like ratings, like reviews, but I guess it's not as popular. But the covers though are just not really it. But I am 100% going to be reading more by the author, like guaranteed at this point, and I still have 1.5 books to read. So yeah, so far so good. I'm gonna go and battle the beasts because they should never be in this room. I am officially done with the first book. I've also cleaned the background. Yay me. This was a 5-star. It was. I need to continue. I won't because, you know, the next book. But this turned out to be a lot more political than I expected. I don't know how accurate it is. I mean, it's historical fiction, but I'm not really well versed in like Italy history. But it's about the movement against like communism against fascism. And yeah, it got a lot more intense than I expected. I'm still incredibly frustrated with the characters. I was kind of right with some of my comments about having a feeling where these things were going to go with the girls. And one of them is officially in that direction. The second one, it looks like it's going that direction. And I'm not happy with it. But it's kind of the reason I can't put this book down. I need to know. I need to read the whole series. And I mean, it is human for people to not do what I as a reader want them to do, right? So it is what it is. But I still put a bunch of post-its for some of the social commentary that she was making. Again, the whole female condition, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to read a couple. Let me just find the best ones. Oh, there's also like a whole feminist movement too that when the character is getting into. And I thought it was interesting though about the quote is like, the moment has arrived to study as women and not as men. And it keeps going. And makes you realize, you know how history has been like really influenced by the winners, but also just men in general. I feel like we don't know what it is to study just in general from the point of view of women. Like, of course we try, but like it's still under patriarchy. So it's an interesting thought. Also, what else was there? Oh yeah, she was also having this discussion with other women about what it is to be a woman. And she was saying how, and it seemed to me, I knew well enough what it meant to be born female. I was interested in the work of consciousness raising. And it's true, like at one point it feels annoying to still have these conversations over and over again. We're kind of ready for the next step, but like it's really hard to do so since everyone is stuck complaining about the current situation, but like finding solutions is again not very easy. And she realizes that as she was growing up, she was incredibly focused on making an impression in the eyes of men. Like, what did I care about politics, about struggles? I wanted to make a good impression on men and be at their level. So again, she's realizing that her whole education was for that purpose, her whole life at this point. And she is just reevaluating her relationship at that point too, because she realizes that she made those decisions based on that. And of course, it's affecting her whole life. I'm trying not to spoil anything, but just realizing that getting all this education just to become what, you know, stuck at home doing nothing, being very unhappy. Again, the case of like a lot of the female characters, a lot of women in history. And yeah, the bad decisions that were posted there. I'm so annoyed with people, but yeah, this is not going to be for everyone, but I really am enjoying the series. And like I said, I will have to read book 4, the last one, hopefully in August, because I need to know. I did receive the 3rd book in the next series. I did mention, right? 5-star. Yes. I'm going to start this one. I can't wait. I already managed to stain it with my stupid headband. If you see me with the red headband, I'm obsessed with that thing. Okay, it is by far the most comfortable headband I've ever owned. But no matter how many times I've washed it, if you have any tips, let me know. It stains literally everything. Multiple books, pillowcases, although it does go away when I wash them. I don't know what to do with that. My glasses, I've been asked, oh, it's cool, the ombre effect. It's not ombre, it's a stain. Anyway, I will still keep using it. But I'm ruining everything. Yes, I need to know. This one is going to be painful. I am not ready for this because I know that people will die. Horrible things are going to happen. And this one is so... I didn't realize how big it was going to be. It's over 700 pages. There's no way I can finish this before the end of the week. This took me longer than I expected. But at the same time, I'm not mad about it because I, again, really enjoyed it. And I would rather just enjoy it. But I don't want it to end. I know it's going to be painful too, so it is what it is. Also, audiobook. Did I mention it in the intro? I started Anna Karenina, which are classic on Patreon for the month of July, August. So I need to finish it by the end of August. And the audiobook is 35.5 hours. I also have a physical copy. It's 800 pages. So, you know, big book. Once again, this is clearly the theme of the vlog. I'm currently 4.5 hours into a 35.5. How much is that? Like 12%? Something like that? Yeah, 12.6. Look at me doing maths in my head. So far it's good. My 2 first thoughts or 3 first thoughts. One, I thought this was going to be from the point of view of Anna because I've watched a movie, right? So of course it's influencing how I'm feeling. It's not really what's going on so far, so I'm just gonna have to let that go. She seems interesting as a character, though. Also, the main male characters are such douche. Like, a-holes. One of them was saying in the beginning... Did I put a post-it? I think I might have put a post-it there. He was saying how his wife can't expect him to... Like, his wife found out that he cheated. I think it was with the governess. And she's mad. Obviously, she wants to leave him. And he's like, she can't... have expected me to stay with her when she got like ugly and like, what did she say? Like he didn't love his wife anymore, basically. The mother of 5 living and 2 dead children, who was only a year younger than he. He had not managed to conceal things better from her, but he felt all the gravity of his situation and pitied his wife, his children, and himself. Perhaps he would have managed to hide his sins better if his wife had he anticipated that the news would have such an effect on her. And this is the worst part. It keeps going, but then this is the quote that is important. It even seemed to him that she, a worn-out, aged, no longer beautiful woman, not remarkable for anything, simple, merely a kind mother of a family, ought in fairness to be indulgent. Like, she should have expected that it was going to happen. She aged. Like, dude, first of all, did you not age? Second of all, she just had so many of your kids. She's taking care of them for you. You are a piece of poo-poo. Anyway, that's the first quote that pissed me off for real. So much so I pressed pause in the audiobook and I went and found the quote because I didn't want to lose it. I need to do the same thing because I know there's another one, chapter 19, because I put it. This one is also about the husband cheating, and I believe it was her having a conversation with an older woman, and the older woman was like, yes, but you have to understand, the whole situation is worse for the guilty party. So basically the whole situation is so much worse for the husband who, you know, betrayed her. Because now he's stuck with the guilt. He's clearly not feeling guilty if he's already knowing he's going to keep doing that. He's just shocked that she's leaving. Anyway, gotta love older women carrying the patriarchy, you know, perpetuating the patriarchy. Anyway, so far it's interesting though. I thought I was going to mix the characters a lot more, especially since I'm listening to it as an audiobook so far. But it's not too bad. The narration is good. And yeah, I think I'm just not used to Russian names, right? A lot of them end with the same sound, so it's really hard for me to follow. Even if I were to read it, I struggle with names in general in books. But so far, like I said, it hasn't been too bad and I'm enjoying it. But yeah, some characters. I'm gonna go read this. I'm really, really excited. I have a feeling this is gonna be a 5-star. So many of you told me it was going to be, so let's do it. Okay, quick update. I'm at chapter 20, page 209. And I was right. I was so not ready for any of this. Things are not, you know, no one died yet. But I feel like it's setting things up to be really hectic. I mean, it makes sense. I feel like the timeline, I'm trying to be vague, the timeline is not something I expected. But yeah, I just can feel the pain about to approach and I'm not ready for it. There's no way I can finish it this week though for this vlog, but look, even before the end of the month, but it's okay. I don't want to rush it. I feel like the point is to enjoy it. It's the last book. But I mean, 700 pages. I wanted to show you my new couch cover because I decided it was way past the time I invest in one because Charlie decided to puke all over. I don't know if you remember, there was the pink little blanket on top. Yeah, all over. And there was no way I was going to be able to clean this. I had bought it secondhand, so it wasn't, you know, it was already stained, so it wasn't the end of the world, but it was gross. And frankly, if it hadn't been this gross, the quantity would have been impressive. There was no way I was cleaning that, so that's gone. And I took it as a sign that I needed to get a couch cover, so I did. I'm going to show you what it looks like. Gorgeous. It was kind of hard to find something that would fit on my couch because of the dimension. A lot of the ones that they're selling, it's like 3 cushions and meets 2 big ones, so it was a bit of a pain in the butt, but this one is not bad. And I really like the color. I feel like everyone has been obsessed with sage green, myself included, and I feel like I get to test it out, see how I feel about it. And it was $46.99, so it wasn't too bad, and hopefully will protect the couch. Unfortunately for me, Clawdia decided that it was so fun to play with, so I have clips of her just playing with it. I literally just installed it. I'm sweating right now. She thinks it's really funny. That's why a blanket is back on it. We're gonna wait a few days until she calms down because there's no way I'm going to bed with the blanket not on it because she's gonna play with it all night. I trust it, but it's not super thick, so I just, you know, listen, if she wasn't this adorable, I would throw her away. I never would, but you know, she's tempting me right now because I just got the new couch cover. Also, quick update, I didn't make much more progress in it, but it's looking like I'm really far. I'm the first hold, not the second. One thing that's making me laugh is that there's a lot of allusion to like what happened in the past, and I'm like 230 pages into it, and I'm like, I don't need the reminders. I've been binge reading. Well, I've read the second one just now, so it's really funny how it's really useful when you're spacing, especially if you have to wait a year, you know, for the new book to come out. But yeah, it's the first time I'm like, I didn't need that. What the actual... I literally just sat down to start reading today, and she does that to me. What the... I don't even want to continue now. I didn't think these things would happen this early in the book. To be fair, I was really shocked in book 1 too. I'm at chapter 26. I just finished chapter 25, so page 265. I don't want to continue. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna have to like personally message the author right now because, well, this isn't the update I was planning on making. I was not going to make it till the end of the book because, you know, I was struggling through it. And then I lost electricity. Again, how many times have I lost electricity? It was for over 24 hours, so I had nothing else to do. So I did finish the book. I did lose everything in my fridge again. This has to be like the 4th time since I moved here. I'm losing electricity all the time, but over 24 hours, it's 3rd, 4th time in less than 4 years. I am so sick of this, so I'm pretty grumpy. I need to invest in a generator because it's only going to get worse, right?
So I feel like I'm always complaining about natural disasters here. This was the storm. To be fair, it was pretty intense, yes. But if you live older neighborhood with big old trees that keep falling down, I guess that's gonna happen all the time. But I feel like just this year, there was the fires, the smoke for the fires, tornadoes. And yeah, April, I lost electricity for over 48 hours. So I lost even whatever I had in my freezer. I'm so sick of this. I'm laughing, but so like I said, at least it means I finished the book. I read the whole thing. It was ridiculously painful. Frankly, the author owes me therapy. I don't even know how to rate this. Like, I don't want to give it 5 stars right now because I'm mad and I'm hurt. And this was kind of exhausting, not in a bad way, but like it's 700 pages, right? So a lot happens and it's the end of a huge series. And I feel like the scope of it becomes bigger and bigger, like more international politics, more people involved because generations of people, and just, I'm exhausted for the characters, you know? Like can't say I'm happy right now, so I'm gonna give myself a few days, but this was, it probably was a 5 stars. It's just right now I'm in pain. The babies are running around like crazy if you hear them. They had their 3rd appointment with the vet just before I lost electricity, although I had time to do the grocery before. They're doing well. They had their 3rd and last, round of vaccines, and they're very heavy. Charlie, the biggest one, is 3.3 kilogram, which it's like a little over 7 pounds. And he's 1 kilogram heavier than Clawdia, who is 2.3 kilograms, so about 5 pounds. I have a picture of them next to each other. It's really hard because they're always moving, right? But like sitting, you can kind of tell the difference in size. Charlie's huge. And Chunky, who's barely bigger than Clawdia, is 3 kilograms. So 6.5 pounds. He's large. We like him that way. He's very cuddly. And yes, they have their appointment to get at the end of August. So very relieved. I know some of you were asking what's going on with them. No worries. There will be no more babies. I am already overwhelmed enough. And yeah, that's where we're at. I'm posting this later than planned, but at least I had time to finish this. Really didn't think I was going to make it, but I honestly feel like crying for the book, for my life. So I'm gonna end this here, and I will see you in better circumstances, hopefully.